Hello everyone, this is Minion Ninja speaking. We're not talking about a proper bootleg breakdown or actually even a toy review for this one, but actually a little bit of a discussion regarding an upcoming model kit by Kotobukiya here. Namely, for a new Mega Man X line of figures, we're looking at the normal X that is currently on screen right now, set to come out around August of this particular year. In terms of the scale, it's advertising itself as a 1/12 scale figure. It's giving a rough height, I believe, of 135 millimeters, which, if you compare it with the D-Arts figure, which I'm going to be doing quite a bit in this case, just to give you the heads up here, it actually puts it up roughly the same scale, if not a little bit taller, I find, in that particular one. And in terms of the retail price, we're looking at 600 yen, if I'm reading that correctly, which, in terms of USD, I believe is retailing at something like Big Bad Toy Store link up there for the pre-order. That's about $59.95. It's actually $5 less that they have right now for pre-order, so $54.99 on there. And the reason I'm looking at this one particular is, just generally speaking, Kotobukiya, however it's pronounced, I'm probably butchering it this whole way. If anyone in the comment note, please tell me. They already have a history of doing a little bit of Mega Man stuff in the past here. Namely, they did a classic line of models, starting with Mega Man, then moving on to Proto Man and Roll, with Mega Man getting a bit of a reproduction model off the top of my head now. But generally what you're getting out of this is a model kit where you do have to assemble the whole thing. Is always shipped out in pieces, so you have to kind of cut off the trays and then reassemble yourself. But in terms of what this particular model kit offers, I feel, especially for customization purpose, it probably lends itself a little nicer to a little more mod work than messing around with either a proper real D-Arts figure or the bootlegs, which I have kind of stashed over here in order to work on things. And that's because everything already begins in pieces, meaning it's a lot less work to separate them because you don't need to separate anything, and to further modify them from there and also paint them later down the line when you need to. In terms of what this particular figure offers, as you can kind of see, has a series of different hands in order there. Closed fists mostly are being shown on here. You have the buster hand. There you have an open hand, showing that it is part of the kit there. You have a few different face plates that are going to be a little more better showcased a little later. In fact, there we are, in fact. So, kind of grimacing, a yelling face, and a more neutral face. And in terms of the effect pieces, they have what's described as a kind of a dashing, charging pieces, an impact piece. I'm not sure what that entails, if I'm being totally frank. And of course, the buster shot that you have here. I imagine the impact is kind of showing the wave from the buster shot itself. And you can see it's kind of got its own little stand in there in order to keep the projectile in place. You can kind of see the seam lines from the assembly, but still, generally speaking, it's a really nice effect piece. And pretty good fit in here. I know also for this particular one, they're also offering for this, and I think Miami pre-orders as well, a special backdrop based off of X6 in this case. But that's kind of just a little flimsy little add-on here. But what interests me most, and what I'm going to be cutting to in the video part here, in just 1 second, is that for the next particular entry in this new model kit collection is none other than X3's Max Armor look, which, as far as I'm personally aware, hasn't seen a proper action figure or model release since as far back as the 90s with the old Bandai sets, which, quite frankly, while they were definitely interesting for the time, weren't exactly the most well-articulated things, and not necessarily the most on-model either. So, with that in mind, we're taking a quick look at what is a little more of a more recent advertisement that went out showcasing Base X itself. Probably this just came in line with the pre-order bit, and of course showing a little bit of the X3 armor to go. But they also showed during that same time a little bit of a preview of another variant for the X3 armor, being the Golden Hyper Armor, or kind of jokingly referred to as the Gold Bomber look, kind of in the 90s back in the day. But what really caught me off guard is that they're advertising right on the spot that they are actually having it so their model kits with the interchangeable bits are interchangeable from one model to the next. Meaning, if you have your base X here, yes, you can actually interchange the various armor bits from your Max Armor kit and kind of do a mishmash. Kind of like if you were collecting the capsules and slowly assembling the full look there, like in the games. And quite frankly, like what D-Arts did for the original Base X for their line and the first armor bit. You could interchange the bits in those there. Mind you, that didn't assemble very well because the whole attachment bits were just really loosey-goosey, but you could do it. And apparently this one, you can do the same thing well. And I'm going to guess they're probably going to attach themselves a lot better than the D-Arts did. In terms of the detailing there, pardon the kind of low resolution shot I have of this one at the time. As you can already see, even from the unpainted state, this is actually a really solid looking model as is. Let's do a quick zoom in. Yeah, this is a much better look at the model here. You can already see all the different details and grill lines that are a part of this figure. And I keep saying figure, I mean the model kit. And suffice to say, just on the details alone, I will probably be pre-ordering both the base set, and as soon as it's available, I'll definitely be looking into one of the versions of the Max Armor kit. I'm not sure I would be looking at the golden Hyper Armor look, just because it is a little gaudy and it's not really the standout color for me in this case, or focus on. But at least it's a nice thing that they're offering. And speaking of which, I don't have a proper photo of it in this case, but Kotobukiya did also advertise that they are doing an alternate color variant for base X, being with the kind of an iridescent, kind of light reflective cover, or paint job on the actual blue tones themselves, to kind of mimic both the changing color effect from X's color changing, as well as his charging effect. So that's just something to put out there. The only caveat I can think of regarding this particular model kit is that, unfortunately, I don't foresee myself getting a bunch of these in bulk in order to do custom work, and that's strictly because of the price point at the moment. Well, in this case, this is the Big Bad Toy Store we're looking at for their version to pre-order. $5 off, so $54.99, aka $55. That's $55 USD, really, which, unfortunately, when you look at the current exchange rate as of today, really places it more a little over $74. And that's still quite a bit pricey for a model kit. And unfortunately, looking at import shops in my general area, the prices don't get much better. In fact, they're actually a little worse at times. So I will definitely be picking one of these up for a little general review and kind of maybe an assembly video. That would be something that I'd definitely be interested in. And also looking at how they handle the whole interchangeable arm bits and, well, the interchangeable armor bits, because I'm kind of curious to see if some of that could be kind of retrofitted in order to fix up the D-Arts figures, especially the bootlegs themselves, which are all really a tad rough around the exchangeable bits. And let's be frank, even for the real ones, the D-Art limbs all have a bit of issues. There's definitely some QA issues with that particular line. But that's going to be a topic for the other time. For now, thanks for watching. Catch you all later.